Hello, darlings. It is so good to be able to be back and talking with you. You may not have noticed, or you may have, that I have not been near as active as I had been there for a long time. Thousands of tweets and posts and things like that were all part of my natural day until about the end of 2009. And I went on an unplanned hiatus from working. Very, very few people heard from me. I had people that were kind enough to keep people in the loop as to what was going on. And if you're one of those, I know that you were praying for me, and I am more grateful than words can ever begin to express. 2010 is not a year I'd like to repeat. With 25 days in the hospital, two life threatening conditions that required surgery, MRSA, repeated in other types of infections, all sorts of things that tested my very, very core belief that there is a gift in everything. And there were days that I really wasn't sure I could find a gift in what I was going through. And that is when other people stepped up to say, yes, there is. Think about this or think about that. I was touched by so many caring people. From those of you I've met on the internet but never in person, to those who have taken care of me and known me for years, to family, to friends, to my husband, who may about need to be up for secular sainthood right now because it's been a rough 3 or 4 years. This is not the first round of illnesses that I've had in the last few years. And he has been by my side, although sometimes I know he was ready to call it quits, and I do understand. What I also got was a lot of time to think and look at what I wanted to do and whether I was in integrity with what I shared with others and what I expected of myself. In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. What I constantly look for is the gift in things, and it's what I teach others to do. And although it's hard, and I know it can be hard, it is something I strive for every moment of every day. And I don't make it. And I know nobody can. And I'm giving myself that gift. And I hope you will give it to yourself too. Part of what I realized in that year is I wasn't living my gifts to the maximum. I wasn't combining 30 years of technology with 53 years of heart and coming up with a way to help others that don't necessarily have the technology background use all the way cool things that are out there these days to get their message out, because I realize that is my number one thing I want. I want this world to be transformed by the message you have to share, because it can be. And if technology is the piece that's stopping you in your tracks, then I am committed to being a partner in helping you overcome those challenges. I have them all over the place, and I figured, good Lord have mercy, if I'm struggling with some of this technology and I have spent almost 30 years explaining technology to beginners, what must it be like for somebody who says, all I want to do is tell people about this way cool thing that helped me get healthier, helped me find the wonderful relationship I dreamed of my whole life. I've still got things that stick me and go, ha, you can't do this. The big thing is I've got a huge group of people that know how to do it, and they are standing by the ready to help others learn too. I looked around and said, what do I want to do first? Because I'm one of those people that loves so many things. I know you are too, because we share so much. And it's kind of hard sometimes to say, what do I want to do first? And what I decided is I looked around at all the things I had learned in my last 30 years, all the things I had researched over the last 3.5 years of learning about internet marketing, and said, what has got the biggest payback for the learning curve? And I realized that is what I now call TeleWhatevers. I got tired of saying teleseminars, teleconferences, teletraining, blah, 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 blah. So they're TeleWhatevers, okay? You know, like as in whatever. TeleWhatevers are a fabulous way to use some basic technology to get your message out in a big way. Now, that said, if you do things in a certain order, you won't have near as many gray hairs or late nights as I did, because I didn't have the basic training, and I couldn't find that step 1 type training that said, here, let me take your hand. Let's get you signed up for this, and here's why we're going to do it. So starting in March, I've created a program called TeleWhatever's Master the Basics, Transform Your World. Because that's what we need to do, is we need to get the basics down. You may have seen, heard, been involved in, maybe even done some teleseminars, and they did fancy audio and fancy video, and you thought, oh, hell's bells, I could never do that. You can, but you can't start there, and that's where I made my big mistake. I wanted to be as fancy and big as the others, and I didn't realize there was a starting point and a way to grow. That's what we're going to be doing together, using my long, way too many years of teaching people how to take a step at a time, and the fact that I am passionate about you getting your message out there. We're going to be talking about it on a preview call. If you'll check your email message here, it gives you a link where you can sign up. The call's on me. The time is for you, and I promise you I'm going to be respectful of your time and teach as much as I can get in that 45 to 60 minutes that we had together. And I'll be giving people that come on live a special opportunity to reward them for taking the time right away, taking action, for being on the call. Yes, you will get a recording once you sign up. I absolutely will give you that, no problem whatsoever. But what I've learned, again, from the School of Hard Knocks, is that if you listen live, you seem to get more out of it, and you're in it. Does that make any sense? When you download it, suddenly, the dog's barking, the doorbell's ringing, the phone's ringing, dinner's due, the kids are coming home or back from college, and suddenly, that recording just goes by the wayside and you don't do anything with it. So be on the call. It will cost you your time, and like I said, I will respect that. You will learn on this call whether or not TeleWhatevers are for you, because that's step 1, to decide whether this is the right thing for you. The whole time I was doing my research, I kept getting all these programs. It's simple, it's easy, and I'll tell you what, it wasn't either, because they left out what you needed to know before it was simple and easy. So we're going to start with, are these for you? Will they work for your business? Do you want to take the time to learn how to do them? And are you interested in learning how that 1 hour on a teleseminar could help you create up to 40 products that could then help you get your message out in an even bigger way? No matter what you decide, thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your love. Thank you for being in my life and being in my world. And thank you for making the world such an amazing place to be in. If you're already doing this kind of call, would you do me a favor? Would you pass this note on, this recording, to somebody else who might need it? I would really appreciate that. I truly would. And if you're interested in help sharing this in a bigger way, you'd like to have a call like this for your group, that would be wonderful. I would love to do that. Send an email right back to me, or to JL, the letter J, the letter L, at Mama Red Speaks, MAMAREDSPEAKS.com, and let's get in touch and we'll talk about how we can put this particular thing to work for those people that you love and serve. I know that your light worker skills, your energy worker skills, combined with being a heartpreneur, are what this world needs. I love you so much for having the courage to step up, step out, and shout it out that this world has amazing gifts. Love and light, hugs and blessings. Mama Red.